Hello, welcome back to my Minecraft tutorial series. So I wanted to start doing modular power suits in this episode, but I accidentally used up all of our copper building an HV solar array, so I don't have enough copper to do that. So instead, I'm going to work on upgrading the thermal expansion power using redstone energy conduits. But before we get into that, I want to show you a couple things, a couple changes that I made. So first of all, MFEs can drain 512 EUs per tick, but your machines may not be using that much energy, so you don't always need an HV solar array to power an MFE. For instance, I don't think the AE system is using that much power, so I have put this back to a medium voltage solar array, and I took the other solar array, the HV one we had, and I've put two of them here onto this MFS? MFS? Whatever this is. The MFSU. Okay, so I've got that powered with 1024 EUs per tick going down to all of our machines. And I did the math on how much power we're consuming, and we're almost at power equilibrium here. So I've got 4 machines here, and these 4 don't take up quite 512 EU per tick. Now these two take up 515, and these two take up 515, and these two take up 515, but 515 and like maybe 500, so we're really close to power equilibrium in our IC2 machines with this construct, so I'm pretty happy with how this is working. If everything was running simultaneously, it would start to drain this MFSU, but normally we're not going to have that happen because there's plenty of stored energy. It's we're oversubscribed on power. There's too much power drain if everything's being used, but most of the time everything's not in use, and this is fine. So, and what got me thinking about that was the tree farm. I went out here and noticed that the MFE was completely drained. The trees were being chopped down very slowly. And I'm thinking, well, okay, we must need an HV solar array here, so I can have just one block. And, one block's nice, but one MV solar array and the MFE gets drained. 2, though, and we seem to be keeping it stocked. So instead of building 8 of these and to compress into 1, we only need to build 2 of them, save ourselves a ton of copper, and I still have power equilibrium here with all the machines we're powering. The tree farm, the sludge boiler, the 2 ranchers. I don't think the fertilizer is using power as it stands, since there's no fertilizer in it, but I could ensure that by putting this lever here. If I put a lever or a redstone signal, these mine factory loaded machines turn off. So this fertilizer is not doing anything right now. I know it's not using any power. I put one over here too in case we want to turn off the tree farm. And, I've got lots of rubber, so I don't know that I need the tree farm anymore. I've got tons of bricks too, so the sludge boiler has served its purpose. The only thing we really care about in this whole network of this whole system is this farm of ore berries, which I still need to find more bushes for, but I haven't figured out a good way to do that other than hunting for them, and I haven't had time to do that. So, I want to show you a couple more things. Thermal expansion added a recipe that you can turn rotten flesh into leather. So if you need more leather, that's a great way to get it. I've got, plenty of leather. Sorry, plenty of rotten flesh. So that's nice. I made some more machines over here, another pulverizer, a cyclic assembler to build cobblestone slabs for recycler. And let me get some cobblestone. My other problem with my other problem is that I was running out of space in my ME network. My quarries have generated too much cobblestone garbage. So I want to see, okay, we're doing much better on that now. I've taken most of the cobblestone and turned it into triple compressed cobblestone by turning this back on, so I'll turn that back off now. So if I feed the cyclic assembler with a single item of cobblestone, it keeps up pretty well. If I move stacks at a time, the cyclic assembler is faster than either our packager or our recycler. I'm not sure, but it's faster than one of those things, probably the packager. So, I don't need that much scrap. It's not going to be that useful for us until we get into UU matter. I like my recycling center, but it's not particularly producing anything of great value. I think we've got 1,000 glowstone, and one thing it does make is bronze dust. So, I've got an unlimited supply of bronze from this recycler. That's kind of nice. And you can see that the sludge blower has made us almost 1,800 pieces of clay. I did not do any mining for that clay. That is all the sludge blower. So the sludge blower does pretty good. Rubber, you can see I'm heavily in excess of it now. I don't think I'm ever going to need more rubber. I don't know. We'll see. So I don't really need the tree farm anymore as it stands. I don't know what I'm going to use that for. If I want to keep it, it'll power the sludge boiler, but I don't have any good way to replace my blocks right now. If I do Thaumcraft, we'll make a wand of equal trade, and I might replace some of my marble brick walls with stone brick walls, or sorry, just bricks walls, but I haven't decided to do that yet. Okay, one more thing, and we'll move on to thermal expansion. I put these stone covers here. I noticed the dispenser sometimes would put stuff a little bit over here or really close, so I've just isolated which direction it can go. I'm not blocking my view of what gets in here or what goes over there, so I can see if there's any problems with our system, and oh, look, okay. Alright, this has not solved all of our problems because there is a stuck pickaxe there that's just going to despawn eventually. Okay, well, never mind my advice about this. That is not helping. Okay, I may replace this with an open blocks vacuum hopper, and that should solve that problem. But, I'm wondering now if that despawned or if it went into the network. I didn't see it. Alright, not important. Either way, either the system works slightly better or, it works at least slightly better. The stuff will never go over here anymore. So, okay, so thermal expansion. I have turned off my lava generating station. I've put up one of my hardened energy cells that's now drained using the stuff it was doing. So I would like to replace all of these conduits with redstone energy conduits, which rather than transmitting 400 redstone flux per tick can actually do 2,000. Sorry, the conduits can do 10,000 redstone flux per tick. The redstone energy cells can do 2,000 redstone flux per tick. So we're going to have lots more power, and I want to get as many magmatic dynamos as we can to try and power that. If I get 25, we can do the full 2,000 redstone flux per tick. So I think I'll probably do that. If I run the quarry and the quarry starts pulverizing stuff and cooking up things, eventually our quarry slows down because this hardened energy cell drains out. It's no longer getting 400 EUs per tick into the tesseract, so we're not running as fast as we could. So I'd like to replace this with a redstone energy cell. I'd like to replace all our conduits with redstone energy conduits and try to get a bit more power into this system. So it's pretty good. It goes, but I am definitely slowing down my quarry with my machine usage. And I've expanded over here, so we need a little bit better stuff. well, we don't need it, but I'd like it to run a bit faster, and we can do that if we switch out our conduits and our redstone energy cells, or our energy cells. So I wanted to show you that we can reclaim. We upgraded from leadstone to hardened, but you can't upgrade from hardened to redstone. You actually make that a very different way. But we can pulverize our redstone stuff and get back our material. We get back our redstone and our invar nuggets. So there's no problem in replacing our conduits and getting our materials back, which is good because I don't know how much invar I have or if I need any more invar. I will definitely need more invar to build more magmatic dynamos. I just don't know how much invar I will need. But it's nice to know that you can reclaim the material from your hardened energy conduits because, otherwise I'm going to have tons of these things. They're just going to go to waste. Alright, let me go make sure I have enough stuff for the redstone energy conduits because they need hardened glass and I haven't been making any hardened glass. So let me go make sure I've got the materials to make that, and we'll come back and make some redstone energy conduits. Back in a flash. Okay, I'm back, and I think I have most of the resource we need to build what I'm going to try. So, first of all, I don't know if I've ever showed you how to build hardened glass, but it's 8 pulverized obsidian and 1 lead ingot or 2 lead dust. I think that's right. No, it'd be 1 lead dust. Okay, so 8 to 1 in an induction smelter gets you 2 pieces of hardened glass. So if I've done my math right, that's how much more I need than what I already have. If you haven't seen destabilized redstone, you put redstone in the magma crucible, 1 piece of redstone gets you 1/10 of a bucket. I think we need, I forget, 80 plus 72, so 2 full stacks plus 24 more redstone, I think, is enough destabilized redstone for what we're going to make. So hopefully that's all in the network now. I know we've already seen how to make electrum, so we need electrum, hardened glass, and destabilized redstone. That's how we're going to make the tier 3 energy storage and transmission from thermal expansion. So let's take a look at that. I want to make some redstone energy conduits, and we need to make these redstone energy conduits. No, I guess we don't. We need to make redstone energy conduits empty, these. Alright, so I was going to start with 36 and see how well we get for that. And then I'm going to make 2 of these. So 2 electrum and 1 hardened glass gets you 6 empty redstone energy conduits. So now I want to build the empty energy cell frame, the redstone one. And to do that, it's 4 hardened glass, 4 electrum, and a diamond. I should have enough to build 2 of these. Perfect, math's working out so far. So now we just need to go downstairs and fill them with redstone. I'm going to fill up this energy cell frame first, and you need 4 buckets worth, so that's 40 redstone for each energy cell you want to make. I'm going to put this in here because you start out with an empty cell, then a filled cell, then you have to actually make the actual thing. It's like that tesseract we made before. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in there and go back upstairs, and I'll show you how we complete the redstone energy cell. So here is the redstone energy cell. It needs electrum, a redstone conductance coil, which is electrum and redstone, and some lead. So, my math was off. I need some more electrum. Okay. Let's see here. I know I need 4 for each of these, so I need 8 more electrum. Electrum is gold and silver dust. That will get you electrum blend, in case you forgot. I don't want to build it in there because then I'm going to get rid of all my gold dust. So there we go. I'll go and cook this in the furnace. Alright, let's try that again. Need to build 2 of these Conductance Coils. 1, 2. Then I should be able to make a Redstone energy cell, an empty one. Perfect. Let's go see if our conduits are done. They are. Perfect. I now have redstone energy conduits. Running out of power though. In fact, it's not going to start. It doesn't have enough power to do this. Let me break this. I'll take the last bit of our power downstairs. Give that back. Alright, so got my last filled energy cell, my last hardened energy cell. Put that in there. Oh, got to change the configuration because that was the cell that had the lever on it. Okay, should be going now to make my last frame. And it is now. It's got power in there now to do that. Perfect. You can see 4 buckets is what it has in here, destabilized redstone, 4,000 millibuckets. Okay, there we go. We've got 2 cells and 36 of these energy conduits. So my job now is just to go replace all of our cells. And we'll see if 36 is enough. Not sure if it will be yet or not. I may need to make more. Let me go ahead and change that out, and I'll see if we need to make more. Back in a flash. Just real quick before I start that, I want to show you that also, yes, you can recycle or pulverize your hardened energy cells, get the material back for them as well. So there we go. The redstone and the invar, we can get that back too. Alright, gonna go get the hardened glass we need and the electrum we'll need to build the redstone conduits. Okay, I haven't quite finished the new setup yet. I ran into a problem with my crafting of some more Magmatic Dynamos. Now, I need copper ingots and iron ingots to make my solar arrays, so I've been pretty much cooking up all my dust. I usually just leave things as dust in the network and then cook it up on demand. But I've been needing more and more iron and copper, so I've started to just cook all that up. But then, to make invar and electrum, which you need for thermal expansion stuff, you need to make the blended dust and then cook that. So I had to repulverize iron ingots to get pulverized iron so I could make invar blend. But that's not the only way we can get in electrum and invar. We can actually get it from the induction smelter directly from ingots, so I can cook up all my dust and don't have to worry about which ones need to be cooked and which ones need to be dust. They can all be ingots, and I can use the induction smelter to put them together into invar and electrum. But that introduced a problem in the same problem we had earlier when I changed these over to use itemducts rather than just have direct interfaces, import buses, is that it's very slow to get things back into the network. Now, I don't use a lot of thermal expansion stuff because it's generally slower than the IC2 stuff with the overclockers. So I could put some import buses on here, but I think instead we're going to transform these item ducts into impulse item ducts, which move things much, much faster. And to do that, we need energized glowstone. So we go over to the magma crucible to make energized glowstone. Let's see here. Each piece of glowstone dust gives you a quarter bucket. I'm going to make 10 of these, which needs 20 glowstone, or 2 full buckets? I think 2 full buckets should do it, because 2 buckets would be, yeah, that should be right. So I will put these into the fluid transposer, and we'll get some opaque impulse item ducts. I thought these would have to be transparent, but I was wrong. They're not to be transparent. Okay, good. There's my 10 impulse item ducts. Okay, and didn't have one for that. So this part of the network may still be, slightly slow to put my cobblestone in there, or my stone, but that's okay. Don't really need that to be faster. I just want these machines to be faster. And I have changed the setup a little bit. In fact, I'll go ahead and tell you about that now. Everything that goes back into the network that might have outputs and inputs, I put over here. And then things that generally don't output things, I put over here. Magma Crucible, Fluid Transposer, Energetic Infuser. Now, I put this hopper on this chest so that I can throw all my tools in here that need charged right into the chest. It'll pull it in here. Now, I was hoping you could just put a chest right on top of it and have this be an input, but it does not pull from there for some reason. I have to have the hopper. But it will output to the chest, so I can throw all my tools back in here and they'll charge away and I can come back and get them later. So, a nice thing. Now, I also did some math on my machine usage. The quarry setup is a little bit concerning. I'm not quite sure how it works. From what the forums tell me, we should be able to... The conversion between Minecraft joules and redstone flux is 10 to 1. 10 redstone flux for 1 Minecraft joule. If that conversion is correct, then given that the quarry, well, Layla says the quarry can use 100 MJs per tick. So if we output 1,000 redstone flux per tick, that should be 100 Minecraft joules per tick, the max speed that the quarry could possibly run. Although what I've seen is it seems to build up a buffer in the quarry no matter how much I put in there. I mean, if I put a really tiny amount, like 50 redstone flux, it doesn't, but any other amount, it seems to just go ahead and put more stuff in here. So, or build up that buffer. So I'm not quite sure if there's something I don't understand or what's going on there, but I will leave it with what I know right now, or what I think I know right now, which is 1,000 redstone flux per tick should be the max speed the quarry can run. So for the rest of the machines, I put the sawmill and the other cyclic assembler over here, the induction smelter, the 2 pulverizers, and the 2 redstone furnaces. Everything else I left like it was. Okay, so now that I've got the induction smelter, let's see how fast we can get some more magmatic dynamos. I need to build, let me see here, 11 more. That will give me 20 magmatic dynamos total, and that, I calculate I needed 20.5 magmatic dynamos to completely power the system if everything were in use, other than the energetic infuser. The energetic infuser can take everything. It could take up to 10,000 redstone flux per tick. So I'll never be able to feed that, but that's okay. You don't use it that often. But for everything else, we just need more magmatic dynamos. And if I did my math right, 21 engines. And we can fit 20 in there just fine. So that should be enough to power all my machines all the time and run the quarry at full speed. So let's go back up here, and I needed 11 more of these magmatic dynamos. So it is making Invar. I think I may not have hooked up the AE system back up. That may be a problem. I think I've got it in this chest just sitting here. Yep, there's my Invar. Okay. And turn it back on. Okay, there we go. So, it's not going to be fast if I don't turn things back on. So let's see here. It's making 4. It's making more Invar. Yeah, the speed of that is not too bad, really. It might be slightly faster. It would be faster if I could macerate and use, you know, iron dust with this, with the Electrum, with the IC2 stuff. But you know what? I want to use the induction furnace. It's okay. I'm not going to make too many more of these Magmatic Dynamos. So the impulse item ducts do help out. They're not perfect. There's still a delay in the system. You can see I've got all this stuff in here, but it looks like the delay is not pulling them out so much as it is the induction smelter trying to make these things. So the induction smelter itself is my bottleneck. I can't make that go any faster. It's using its max power. That's just, you know, that's all I can do for now. I will come back when it is finished and show you the rest of the setup. Okay, I'll hurry up and wrap this up because it's already our longest video, but here they are. All the Magmatic Dynamos, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they're all the way around on 4 directions. So there's 20 Magmatic Dynamos supplying all of our power. And you can see now that the Energized Infuser can charge this Redstone energy cell, which can hold 10 million Redstone flux, and it can use 2,000 Redstone flux per tick. Now we've got 20 engines, so that's not quite 2,000 Redstone flux per tick. It's 20 times 80, whatever that is, so what is that, 1,600 Redstone flux per tick, I think? Sounds about right. And don't forget, we're throwing 1,000 over here as well. I don't know quite which one it's going to go to first. The pipe comes down here, and it goes across here. So, who knows which one's going to get filled first? I don't. Looks like this one is being starved, but I can't quite tell. So, we'll see. Anyway, you don't use the Energized Infuser that much, and when you do, you don't use it for this much stuff. So, should be okay. We should now be able to run our quarry at full power, even when we are pulverizing all of our ores, cooking up stuff, you know, whatever we want to do. Our power, I think, is pretty good for pretty much the long term on thermal expansion. If not, we'll do something else. Okay, next time my quarry should have enough copper and whatever else I need to do the modular power suits. See you next time.